Okay, perfect, beautiful. So just like before we were interrupted by some internet people, how rude. We're going to talk about design thinking. It's something you hear all the time in the tech industry. It's something that's a really great skill to have, but a lot of times it's presented as a very abstract concept, right? Or it's not explained at all. So my name's Tyler King. I'm a design research lead at IBM, and I do design and design research all the time. So we're gonna talk about design thinking. Maybe we'll do some if we have time, but we'll talk about how you can apply these skills that we'll cover in the hackathon experience if you are doing the hackathon, or in your day-to-day work life if you are not doing the hackathon. But so we talked about how design as a practice is not about making things pretty. It's really a focus on people, because people are at the center of like literally everything we do, right? We make products, people buy them. We do hackathon things, and ideally we are, solving problems for people. If your product is good, if your hackathon idea is good, it's helping somebody, it's solving a problem. Otherwise, no one's going to buy it. It's not going to like serve a purpose, really. It's just making for the sake of making. And like, that's just wasteful. And so for me, when I solve a problem, it helps if I have a framework or a process to do it, instead of just like looking at a problem as a giant mountain, a void, and saying, good luck. I don't know what to do. It's very scary. But design really puts a structured process around solving problems with a human focus. And the specific framework that IBM uses to solve problems and use design as a concept is enterprise design thinking. It's our own brand of design thinking that we use to uniquely scale our own practices, because IBM is a huge company. We have like 400,000 employees. We're the size of Iceland. Very cool. But there's literally only 3 steps to design thinking. Super easy. It's like the scientific method, if you think about it. The 3 steps to design thinking are observe, reflect, and make. Super easy, right? You observe the world around you. So, you gather data, you see, if you're building a product, you go see the problems that your users or humans are experiencing in the world, or you go and see how people are using your product, right? So that's observation. And then you reflect on what you have observed and work together with your team to make sure you're aligned and have a common understanding, a shared understanding. And then you go and you make something. Maybe you form a hypothesis and then you're going to go test it. Or maybe you make like a vision statement or a prototype or an actual product or something. And you put it out into the world. And then you reflect on what you've made, make sure you're aligned again. And then you go and observe that thing, right? Did I have a hypothesis. I want to test it. I want to see how my prototype is being adopted, or how easy or challenging it is for people to use my prototype. I want to see how adoption of my product is going. Are people really struggling with it? Are people hating it? Do people really like it? Is it solving a problem, right? So all you have to do, observe, reflect, and make. And it really comes down to making decisions that are driven by data and not just making things that we think are going to be cool. So at the end of the day, humans, your users that are using whatever you're making, are at the center of everything that you're doing. That's really who you want to put first. Users should be your North Star during design processes, and really just throughout the entire problem solving or product making process, right? And just so everybody knows, users are like your protagonists. They are the people actually using your product. They are the people impacted by the decisions that you're making. So what does that actually mean in the real world? I just talked about design as an abstract concept. So I'm a design researcher, right? So I tell people that my job as a researcher really comes in during that observe stage of design thinking. My job is to work with those users, so like customers, to make sure that IBM is building stuff that is actually going to help people. I go and I find problems for IBM to solve. I go and find gaps in experiences so that we're actually filling those gaps, instead of just making stuff that we think is cool. And then I take that data, I pass it off to my team, and we as a collective make sure that whatever we're building is as easy as possible to use. And I do like testing after the fact, with prototypes, with real live products to make sure that what we're putting out into the world is easy and continuing to solve this problem we thought it was solving. Because we don't want to make anything based off of assumptions, right? You know what they say, never assume. But there are lots of different types of designers out in the world. So I'm a researcher, I go and collect data. If this is like an interesting topic to you and you want to look at like design careers, there are also UX designers, there are user experience designers, there's visual designers who do make things visually appealing and accessible and on brand and create a visual language. There's also content designers who are like, I don't even know, they're like word wizards. I don't know how they do what they do, but they are all about language and words and writing and content. So they're awesome, but there's lots of different designers, and we all come together with our engineers and our business people, and we make products that are actually going to help people. And so I just mentioned engineers and business people. We also have marketing and sales. So design really isn't just for designers. Design is for everybody on a team, because we should all be putting our users first and putting our customers first, or whoever's life we're trying to make better. So the way you do this as a team is just start by acknowledging you are not your user, and that's totally fine. When I worked in Z, my primary users were systems programmers, and I also had like data scientist users, right? And I am never going to be a data scientist. It sounds crazy hard, and I don't have the brain power. I don't know. I'm more of like on the art side. I don't have like a brain hardwired for data scientists or being a data scientist, but that is totally okay, because what I can do is go and find data scientists or whoever's life I'm trying to improve and talk to them. And so can you. It's super easy. Go find somebody on LinkedIn. Or maybe if you're trying to solve a problem that's close to home, go and talk to one of your friends. They might be the person whose life you're trying to improve, right? And ultimately, it's up to us as people who aren't our users, but trying to serve somebody, to build empathy for them. Empathy is, shared understanding and, sharing feeling for the problems of another person. You might not fully understand someone's pain points, but you can empathize with somebody. Make sure you acknowledge that the pain that they're feeling is valid, and go and try to help mitigate their pain points. And so this is what we're going to talk about in the last couple of minutes. We're going to do a little bit of design thinking, just give you a little snapshot of it, but there are templates online, I think, that we have for you so you can do them. And I have links to like other resources. So no pressure to absorb this all right now, but I'll give you a little taste. So your life has super totally changed since COVID, right? Last year, if you guys are the hackathon folks, like, and you're still in school, right? Last year you had to do school like almost all online, and that was probably strange and isolating, right? This year, I think you're back in the classroom, maybe. So, your life has changed. You have to wear masks and it's scary. We can't breathe on each other. I think that I've heard that like folks in schools like have to sit in the same spot every day so they can do like contact tracing. So like if Joe Schmo gets sick, like we can tell everybody that's been in contact with Joe, and then you have to go and stay home for like a week or two. And like, I don't know. So it sounds really hard for you guys, right? I'm sure that you have a lot of pain points in this area. But now I want you to not think about you for a sec. And I want you to think about your parent or guardian right now. So whoever is at home that has to make sure you get to school okay, who has to pay the bills, feed you maybe, make sure you're okay, who like cares about your well-being. Who is that person? Think about them, okay? Think of an image in your mind of your mom or whoever, your grandma, somebody at home. And the way I like to start design thinking is, framing a problem that I think we want to solve, or a problem area at least. So let's think about this problem. How might we improve the lives of our parents or guardians in this weird COVID world? Okay. So we're going to do an exercise together, and it is called an empathy map. And I'm going to be your hands. I'm going to be your scribe, and I will be typing for us. But we have an empathy map, and it's a circle, and it has 4 quadrants. And those 4 quadrants are says, thinks, does, and feels. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to do a big brain dump of what your parents and guardians are saying, thinking, doing, and feeling, around their lives during this pandemic. What have you noticed? What have you observed? And the outcome of this is going to be kind of a collage of all of your different parent and guardian experiences, so that we can have kind of someone that's representative of our collective truth. So I'm going to switch to a different screen, maybe, if you can see it, not all the emails, but this screen. Can you guys see this new screen that I have up that's not a PowerPoint?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I have already given this fake parent or guardian a face. It is Nani from Lilo and Stitch. It's fine. I love her. She's great. But if you guys can type in the chat or ask for permission to say words with your mouths, tell me what your parent or guardian is saying, what you've heard them say during the pandemic. Let's take like 1 to 2 minutes to just type in the chat. What are they saying? What do you hear them saying? And what are they thinking about? What do you think that they're thinking about? And I will start until I start to see stuff in the chat or hear voices. Yulia, feel free to chime in. Anybody that's a co-host, chime in, but anybody that, yes, wear your mask. I see it. Okay, so yeah, mom is telling you to wear your mask. That's perfect. Tell me more things. What else are you hearing? My mom was like, make sure you get vaxxed. Like, let's go and make sure. I see paying bills. Yes, telling you to wash your hands. Yeah, my mom, right before the pandemic, I went on like one of the last cruises, and my mom was like, I have packed you a Ziploc bag of gloves and hand sanitizer and wipes, wipe down the cabin. So yeah, your parent also might have a fear of the vaccine. Scared of vax. Or he or she might be scared of anti-vaxxing people. Impacts. Always pack extra masks. Extra masks. Beautiful. How do you think fear for grandparents? I'm going to put that in feelings. Clean and disinfect. Cleaning, disinfecting. Don't touch doorknobs. Yeah, I don't touch doorknobs. Nope. Don't touch doorknobs. I don't know how to spell knobs. Okay, cool. I don't think I did that right. Oh, maybe I did. Don't hug anyone. Okay. I wish I could travel and get away more. I broke it. Whoops. Oopsies. I wish, I can't spell, could travel more. Okay. Need a vacation. Yeah. I need a vacay. These are great. Oh, they can't meet up with friends. I'm gonna put that in does. Keep these coming. These are great. Be careful. Don't be afraid. That's sweet. I love it. Run if you what? I don't know. Oh, frustration. She feels frustration. Okay. Tell me more about these feelings you think. avoids social things. Run if you're around someone who coughs or sneezes. Run away from coughs and sneezes. Go home. Okay, okay, these are wonderful. Yes, I see a feeling. Loneliness. I spelled that wrong. Whoops. Concern. This is unfair. Oh, these are wonderful. Oh no, okay. More anxiety. Okay, these are really, really wonderful things. I love this. I mean, it's not wonderful that your parents or guardian feel this way. Disconnected. Cabin fever, same, yo. I had some crazy cabin fever and I moved. I was like, I have to move. And I made a huge life decision how to just move. Optimistic. Oh, that's true. My dad started a new job and he is like running the social media for a company and he does not know how to do it. So I'm running the social media. So I'm teaching him about Instagram. So that's very fun. Not sure how to use tech. That's not the right spelling. Tech. Okay. Well, I moved to North Carolina, so it's lovely and sunny today. Okay, beautiful. So these are perfect. Thank you guys for humoring me and doing this with me. This was great. So I know we're coming up on time. So normally what I would do is we would take these Post-it notes and we would cluster them, right? This is like real stuff that I do with my team every day. So we've put everything ish that we know, we've observed, that we think we know about our protagonist. This is Nani. But this is everything that we're pretty sure we know about her, right? And what we would normally do is take these Post-it notes and move ones that are pretty similar close together. So we would start to see like patterns. So some of them are like, I see a lot of themes around, you know, your mom or parent or whoever is nervous and they're telling you, go home if you're sick, don't hug anybody. If there's sneezes, get out of there, right? So that seems to be something that she is like obviously concerned. But I love this one right here about, hey, don't be afraid. I don't want you to like be impacted too horribly negatively. And then personally, on like a personal level, there seems to be a lot of themes around like having cabin fever and wishing she could be more social and go outside or go on a trip and just get out, right? So these are a lot of really great pain points that we've identified. She's scared, she's concerned, she just wants you to be safe, and she wants her family to be safe. I saw something about grandparents. She also has to pay her bills and, you know, change her life to make sure that your life is better, right? At least she is in Hawaii, where we are not allowed to go right now, or we're not advised to go to Hawaii. So what I want you guys to do, we just talked through some pain points, right? We talked about Nani. Take literally like 60 seconds, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and I want you to sketch up an idea really fast that could help Nani. Think about her specific pain points around trying to make your life easier. You know, she's nervous, she has cabin fever, she's really scared about her family. Take 1 minute and sketch an idea to mitigate her pain points. It doesn't have to mitigate all of the pain points, but we want to mitigate some of her pain points. So 60 seconds, grab a piece of paper. I will play on my phone for 60 seconds. I don't know. I will be looking at my clock. And then I'm going to ask somebody to maybe get permission to come off of mute and share your idea, or else Yulia or Pat or Anna, you're going to be one of my guinea pigs. Because I didn't come up with an idea for this because I didn't know what would happen. Sketch. Yeah, I will pull up the page again. Here you go. It'll take like 30 more seconds as I move around and play in this mural. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of things. A lot of loneliness, concern and fear, not fair, anxiety, but hopeful. I love it. This is me clustering to kill some time. Avoid antisocial things, doesn't know how to use tech, got to pay the bills, got to clean, and avoiding social things. So a lot of things around avoiding social stuff and cleaning. So if anybody is allowed to come off of mute, or someone who has powers would like to share their idea, I would love to hear an idea or two.
You can raise your hand if you want to be unmuted. Any kind reaction, raise hand. If you want to speak up, speak out.
Yep. You can also, wave in the camera. That'll help too.
No pressure, but a little pressure so that I'm not just here by myself being awkward. Ooh, I got one from Colin. Oh, I love it. Thanks, friends. I love you guys. So I guess we'll have Colin and then Connor go, and then we'll wrap up.
Perfect.
Yes, one of the ideas I had would be, I guess if this is like current COVID like situation, it'd be to, if everyone's vaccinated, go over to a friend's house and have like a cleaning party. So if anyone has concerns about getting sick, you can address those by, Lysoling the walls, making sure you can kill the germs you can, and, have a few drinks or whatever you like to do with your friends or family to like address the feelings of loneliness or cabin fever that were at the bottom right corner.
I love it. I love it. That's what my friends and I did. We were like, we are each other's bubble. We're all vaccinated. We are only each other's friends, no new friends. Thanks, Colin.
Yeah.
That was a great idea. I think it would help. Sorry, go ahead. Or not. All right. Thank you for being our brave soldier and being the first to volunteer. Let's have Connor go, and then we'll finish up so we have time for the next speaker and like a coffee break.
Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Okay. So my idea as something that to create is maybe a social media platform or like forum thing specific for people affected by the pandemic mentally, for them to like talk to each other about their problems and like find comfort in each other. That was my idea.
Oh, I love it. And I love that we have two ideas that are super, super different, and they're both mitigating similar pain points, right? So that is awesome. And thank you both for doing that and sharing with us. So you guys noticed we had one idea that was very like human centric and like, it's not a product, it's not a technical offering, it's an experience, right? We want to get together as a family, right? And our friends. And then we have something on the opposite end of the spectrum that is a technical experience. It's, a technical solution, a platform. And so there's no right or wrong answer necessarily. We have identified the pain points and we started to solve problems focused on Nani, our protagonist, right? And that is really what I want you guys to do during this hackathon. That's how I want you guys to start approaching the hackathon, because the best ideas are going to be ideas that solve a problem and solve a problem with purpose and intent, right? You guys probably have a lot of cool ideas, and it's going to be very tempting to like go in solution first, but try to make sure that at the end of the day, you are solving a problem, because otherwise you're just making something for the sake of making. And remember that humans are at the center of everything that we do and every problem that we solve. So really, if you're thinking of a solution, if you're thinking of a problem, make sure you're thinking of the human people that are going to be impacted by the work that you're doing. And throughout the hackathon, if you can if it's like a parent or guardian or a computer science person or like a store owner or a teacher, if you can call someone real fast, talk to them for 10, 15 minutes, ask them some questions, try to gather data from other humans in your life if they are your end user, quote unquote. And at the end of the day, approach this hackathon, approach any innovation you're doing with the intent of altruism, which is trying to make someone's life better. You want to serve the greater good of the world and not try to introduce negativity. You want to help people, right? So we have some templates on the website, I guess, for you guys if you want to do a similar exercise, kind of rapid fire with your team. And it extends beyond that. So you'll come up with ideas and then you'll vote on, how feasible is this idea and how impactful for the better is it going to be to our users. So if you want to use those with your teams, once you have teams and ideas, feel free to use them. And if you want to, I got to do the shameless plug, right? If you do want to get like a free credential, it's free. Yeah, you can put it on your LinkedIn if you have LinkedIn's. You can get a free digital badge if you go to this website. It's ibm.com with /design/thinking/page/badges. We have design thinking badges. They're recognized credentials that are recognized across the industry. And they're free. I'll keep saying free. But that was rapid fire. I appreciate everybody participating and giving me stuff to fill in that empathy map. And I wish you luck on your hackathon and try to approach these problems with a focus on humans and data-driven decisions. Have a great day.
Yay, Tyler, that was terrific. What a great fun, what a fun exercise. Thank you so much for doing that. Does anyone have questions for Tyler just before we end her portion? Yes. Hold on. Let's see. I've got some hands. And I'm going to just unmute you and feel free to ask your question. So we'll start with Patrick, I guess.
I was just clapping, I thought, and somehow I raised my hand, so I didn't have a question. But thank you, Tyler. That was wonderful. It was great to get a new perspective. Yeah.
All right, very good.
Well, okay, I'll talk. One of the ideas I did have for that was along the same lines, is have a member of each family once a week come up with a staycation, let's say in the living room or kitchen or whatever. Could be a Mexican or maybe a French bistro, or they go to maybe Hawaii or whatever. And a member of the family does. Anyway, thank you for giving us that empathy perspective.
I want that idea for my life, please. That would be great. Okay.
All right. Yulia, we have a few minutes before Cynthia's ready. I believe you're ready now, Cynthia, right?
Actually, we can take a break if we want to. I'm just here listening to the goodness.
Yes, and I'm asking everyone to make sure you have your first and last name on your nickname stated, because this way we know you're a real human. You can rename yourself. We got Zoom bombarded before with the people who were having some of this. And we will know you're a real human if you will have your first name, last name, and feel free to add she or he, how to pronounce yourself, how to address to yourself. This also will communicate to us that you're human, not a bot. Okay. Thank you.
Let's do a quick Mentimeter. Let's see. I'm going to post it in just a moment. The way this works is that you go to menti.com and the instructions will be there. And so this is a great follow-up to Tyler's talk. Hold on, here it is. And just feel free to drop it in there. So feel free.
Wait, this is so cool. I love this.
And you can submit more than one answer.